here for the Leftovers. It's just a matter of when that comes into a situation that they can turn that into a victory.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about when it comes to the play of the Leftovers is that they oftentimes are too slow in their rotations. And that means that it causes them to lose experience on lane. So they're trying to find value by ganking up on a lane, on a hero, then rotate back to get the XP from the minion waves. But they're just a bit too slow and oftentimes also interrupted in the rotation to slow them down even more. And just them losing out on the XP brings them usually in a situation where they are a level or two behind, sometimes a talent. That's definitely one of the things where, as we just heard from Lauba, they are going to try and adapt a bit. But as he said, they can practice so much better now as an open division as well, so they get punished more for mistakes. Even if at the end of our phase one they would end up in the one of the crucible spots, they would already have a huge leg up over any team that makes it through the open division to challenge them just because they have this extra training. So that approach that you mentioned, them trying to just say, we need experience, we want to get better, we want to work on the mistakes that we make right now, identify them and try to eliminate them, that's already half the battle. So that mentality is something to really look forward to see how far it gets them.
Well, a mentality for Leftovers to consider when going into the matchup, but Dignitas, we want to see them continue to be flawless. They look great the last couple weekends as we move into Battleground number 1. And we're going to Dragonshire as Dig picks it up for their map pick. First pick will go over to the Leftovers.
Yeah, an interesting part is also we have pretty much what we saw in the past, the ban on Braxis from Dignitas. At the beginning, they started to ban out Volskaya, but they started to home in on Braxis as the banned battleground more so than anything else. We have a bit of a change coming in from the Leftovers. They used to ban Cursed in every single game they played, every time they entered a match, but now they went over and banned out Tomb. So maybe a bit of a strategy change here. We're going to see later on if Cursed is maybe even chosen by them, if they have something prepared for the map. But as you said, it's a tough battle for them. And Dignitas is a team that is playing close to perfect right now. It was really interesting talking to the other teams about it. And Hazops, for example, was all praise for Dignitas and said that he really admires the way they play right now. And that he finds it absolutely fascinating how close to perfect they're able to perform. He highlighted some of the games that we casted where they didn't get a kill, gave up 2 objectives on Infernal Shrines, and still found themselves an entire level ahead because they rode it perfectly onto the lanes, got the experience, slowed down the opponent's rotation, and made sure that they lost on lane XP. So that's something that we definitely have to keep our eye on if they can continue that, because right now it makes them look undefeatable.
Yeah, they are on a level that just seems to be unmatched by the other 7 teams here in the HGC. Now, as we move into the draft, I am wondering if we're going to see more of that Tracer. Tracer started to get a little more popular last week. Malfurion, and even some double supports coming in. Genji gets banned out for the Leftovers. Will not be available on the field. Will Dignitas continue to take away the Abathur?
They could. So far, Dignitas on this map has always been Genji as on the #1 spot. In this case, now they don't have to, as you already said. From the Leftovers, it doesn't really surprise too much either. We have Hanzo that had a huge impact last weekend in particular, just simply because he was paired a lot more with Tacita. That had a big impact on him. You were talking about Tracer, and you have your answer already. Dignitas getting rid of her as fast as they can.
Yeah, she was becoming quite annoying last week, just a fly batting around and looking for those kills with pulse bombs. Teams are getting much better at finding those kills with the Tracer, so she is now unavailable.
The interesting part is, though, that most of the teams have not really seen a lot of victories with Tracer. Dignitas was the one team that played her 3 times and had 3 wins. Outside of that, only Team Liquid got a single win with her and everybody else lost.
Wow.
Tracer is actually sitting at a negative win ratio right now. She has 10 games played in Europe and she lost 6 out of those 10. And from the 4 victories, 3 were from Dignitas alone. So we see a lot more Tracer, and she feels a lot more impactful, but if you look at the results outside of Dignitas, not really reflected in the stats.
Well, Dignitas opens up with the Uther and the Hanzo, one that we've seen many times the last couple of weeks. Uther with his incredible win rate compared to most supports, and then Hanzo always opening up the fights. I think that's the real major appeal of Hanzo. Yes, you have the level 7 talent people talk about, but the ability to force a fight when you want to with Dragon's Arrow and Assassin is unmatched.
Yeah, and you talked a bit about Uther, and with Dignitas, it's really interesting because if you look at the way that they are playing supports, in all the games they played, they only used 2 different supports. They have a really huge affinity for Malfurion in general. They played him 6 times in 9 out of the 9 games they played, and of course won every single one of them. And they played Uther in the remaining 3. So very high Malfurion, and now also playing more and more Uther, since he starts to dominate very highly, and also you try to take it away from, let's say, Genji, sorry, Greymane, for example, Genji as well. But it's interesting to see that they are just homing in on these two supports at this point and haven't really broadened the support plays. But they didn't need to. They weren't forced into that situation yet.
For me, I like how flexible Uther is. I'm reminded of last year when we started to see the ETC popping into a lot of games, the stage dive and the mosh pit, both heroics being available. The same can be said here about Uther. Uther has been great in stun compositions when you add that Divine Storm and the Benediction to force down a target. But also, if you know you're going to be dived upon, he fits well against dive comps. He just fits greatly if you want to pick him up that 1 to 2 rotation because of how flexible he can be.
Dignitas currently thinking about the ban on Abathur. Now we've been talking about Abathur a lot. He was highly involved in bans. Hasn't seen too much play in Europe so far. He was played in 2 games and won both of them. But he's banned in most cases, with the exception of Tomb of the Spider Queen, where he doesn't really play a huge role just simply because the map is so small and he can be attacked a lot easier and picked up. On the other hand, on Dragonshire, the hero has way more of an impact. So right now, with Greymane already chosen on the other side, the double Greymane, the potential double Rhaegar even, since Rhaegar is another great target for Abathur copies. Abathur gets taken away by Dignitas, and that's a good ban on their part.
I was wondering about the possible ban of a Tyrael. The thing is that Tyrael is actually new this weekend. We have the rework in and available for our team, so we get an idea to see if he'll be patched with Greymane like he was in prior patches, or if he'll be completely left out of the rotation. So far, the Abathur has been taken away, and we have the last few drafts available here to see if Tyrael gets picked up, and I want to know, will he be something we see?
I think Tyrael is definitely going to be played more than he was in the weeks before. Yeah, he is looking really strong right now. A lot of the pros have been talking about his level 1 shield talent as well, so he can have a very big impact. Having the level 13 now also a holy ground over the level 16 is another huge aspect. So I would expect to see quite a bit of Tyrael show up during the weekend itself.
All right, we'll keep an eye out for that. It is Blaze for Wubby. Again, into the Li Ming here. So we have the opening arrow into a Blaze engage, but also split pushing available, and Li Ming resets available for Dignitas. Their composition is looking pretty powerful here for Dragonshire.
Yeah, in Blaze, they played it 1 time already, and they were successful. That was back on Tomb of the Spider Queen. But now we're seeing him played for the 2nd time. So far, the team in Europe that has played the most with Blaze is Strict Esports. They played him 3 times. They won all 3 games. Diamond Skin, on the other hand, they picked him 2 times. They lost both. But overall, Blaze is in a very solid spot in Europe. Has played 7 games, won 4 of them, so he sits at a 57% win ratio.
That reminds me of Alex Aproji. What hero will he love this weekend? It seems to be a trend with him.
Yeah, it definitely is. Alex loves to one-trick on a new hero, and when he feels that he has a huge impact on the way they play and that they can be successful with him, they just don't change that pattern. And that's something that other teams have, of course, obviously. We've seen the Roaming Zool, we've seen Chen in the past, now we have Blaze. Other teams
don't forget about Diva.
Other teams picked up on that as well, so they are also asking themselves, is Alex still on the Blaze train, or is he now jumping onto a different hero?
Well, enough about Alex. Tyrael, the new reworked Tyrael, is here and available. Dignitas will be showcasing him first this weekend here in HGC. They'll be playing with Hanzo and a Li Ming, so not the normal dive comp that you expect, but Tyrael still showing up.
Yeah, Tyrael is really interesting to me with his level 7 talent, for example. One of the combos that we talked about with Tyrael was Tyrael and Greymane, or a Tyrael Illidan. Any kind of melee assassin that has dive potential is fantastic with Tyrael, since Tyrael can jump in with the hero and provide the shield. You have the sanctification, so you can really engage into your opponent. And now you have the level 7 talent on Tyrael, which not only grants you the movement speed, but also attack speed bonus on top of that as well. So that just strengthens that aspect of the hero even more in the potential combo with the melee assassin. In this case, we're missing out on it since they are not running Illidan, Greymane, or any of these heroes, but it's definitely something that I personally expect to see over the weekend a lot more, that we see teams try to use Tyrael together with Greymane to capitalize not only on the added shield on 1, but also the level 7 attack speed that helps out all of these heroes even more.
I think Tyrael is also great here for Chromie. You're being able to dive that back line with us having a Blaze available to peel back to with possibly a bunker or even a combustion. Tyrael can be free here to actually be a little bit more annoying on that back line and set up the Hanzo or the Li Ming setup. So I think it really just kind of matches perfectly into it. Now, we're getting ready for game number 1. This is a best of 5 series. We have the undefeated roster of Dignitas facing off against Leftovers, who have yet to get a single win here in the HGC. Will today be that day? Pretty unlikely, but we'll find out. Let's go ahead and go into game number 1 on Dragonshire. Dignitas taking on Leftovers.
Game number 1 on Dragonshire kicks the series off between Dignitas and the Leftovers. And to the left side, we see Dignitas, the undefeated, the untouchables. Snitch on Hanzo, Poik on Li Ming. Blaze played by JPL, Wooby on Tyrael, and Zelia on Uther.
On the right side, in the red, Podibus playing Dahaka, Blekini playing Chromie, Laber on Johanna, DAB playing Greymane, and Linked showing off the Rhaegar.
This is the third time that Dignitas plays Dragonshire this season, and it was also their map choice. So they're currently 2-0, obviously, since the team has not lost a single map yet. They're standing all the way at the top of the ranking with 3 wins in matches, 9 map wins to 0. Leftovers haven't won a map yet, and they're trying to change this today. But as they acknowledged in the interview earlier, it is very unlikely that they're going to get too much done here. They see this as a learning opportunity, trying to improve their own plays and measure themselves against the currently best in Europe.
Just a showcase there of how strong Blaze and his wave clear can be as well. In the middle lane, it was Johanna versus him clearing the map, and Blaze took a larger lead in the minion trade-off, which is really weird to say, because Johanna's one of the best tanks you can pick up for wave clear if you need one. Blaze just showcasing how powerful he can be against that comp.
The interesting part is that we have Blaze played from the main tank perspective now. This is actually the first time. Usually when you see Blaze being played, he is the offlaner, and that's not the case here. Dignitas plays Blaze on JPL and has Wooby on Tyrael now all the way up at the top. So it's an interesting twist that we need to pay a bit more attention to later and see how it works out. But I want to quickly talk about the new Tyrael. The level 1 talent, Justice for All, is definitely the key talent of the current pro build that we see on Tyrael. So the increased shield on your allies for 100% of the shield that is gained by Tyrael himself. And it is a fantastic tool to dive into your opponent, to have the extra safety here, which is something that especially Hanzo later on is probably going to be able to capitalize on.
Allowing for Tyrael to save any diets coming his way, but also to get aggressive with his teammates at level 1 will. Leftovers grabs the bottom. They have Giants pushing in, and they bring 4 members down. They are aiming for the turrets here. Zelia is just fine, though, dropping the heals, getting that armor, is able to handle Chromie coming his way. But the Shrines are under control of the Leftovers.
And look at the transition here. Immediately we have JPL in position in the brushes to make sure that he slows down the rotation from the Leftovers to the middle. This is exactly what we've been talking about. In this case, it doesn't really net Team Dignitas an experienced lead, but it showcases the principle of it. Leftovers commit with 4 hero to the bot lane, they start to rotate into the middle, Dignitas clears the wave and immediately knows that someone on the side of the Leftovers will have to rotate into the mid lane to catch the experience. So they try to slow it down and catch them before they reach that spot. And that is something that Dignitas has done in all of their games, trying to slow down rotation so that your opponent slowly loses out experience. And it's something that the Leftovers, on the other hand, struggled with to perform even against weaker teams, trying to make sure that they catch all of that EXP. So this is a small aspect, but it's definitely something that if you have an amateur team and you're trying to improve your own play, the symbiosis between wave clear and trying to slow down your opponent's rotations is worth a lot, and it was showcased there perfectly.
Now, while Dignitas is pulling that maneuver off, Leftovers have at least respawned now. They just left Johanna in the middle lane. She has quit rotating to the bottom side to stop that rotation from happening, and she may head to the top if need be. But this allows Dignitas to now open up on the bottom side. You can see the options they get on them playing this type of playstyle.
Yeah, I really like that the Leftovers are being aggressive here. They know they're going up against the toughest team in the league, and they are not passive. They're actually trying to make plays. They're going down at the bot lane and take structures, try to take that experience, open up the lane a little bit so that they can work with their own camps, for example, a little bit better even. So I really like the way that they present themselves here against a seemingly undefeatable opponent. So kudos to them already to just come out and say, yeah, we're here to play, we're not just here to take a beating.
And on top of that, they have an ace in the hole. They have Chromie against Hanzo. If you're able to land one Sandblast on a Hanzo after level 7 and you land a Dragon's Eye combo on him after you hit that first Sandblast, you can delete his entire health bar. The actual math does line up. So the ace in the hole here for Leftovers is the Chromie. They have the Johanna in the front lane. Can they find those kills? So far, Snitch has been dancing very well.
They also have another big advantage here when we're talking about compositions. They have their Haka.
Ooh,
so
true.
They run the global, so we've seen from Team Liquid on this map against Zealots how much of an impact that can have, that you can win an entire game just playing smart around the global mobility of a hero like Dahaka. So that is something that Leftovers might be able to use later on. And so far they're doing well. Level 8 versus 8, not a single kill up to this point. Leftovers definitely showcasing, as we said already last week, improvements every single time that we see them here in HGC.
Well, level 8's here for Chromie, so she should be able to control this bottom side if she is careful. Almost taking some damage there from the Uther. Combo comes out, does land a little bit of damage on Xaylia, but here's that Dahaka you were talking about. Xaylia is the target. Lauber and Podibus are controlling the bush. Uther can't sneak through. Here's the slowing sands, and there we go. Leftovers get the first kill of the game.
Really well done here. Great body blocks also. But that rotation, of course, cost them the top lane experience, because now we have Tyrael at the top. And that is something where they need to react. So the Dahaka is going to make his way over. The kill was great. The kill was important. And it allows this push at the bot lane with the Siege Giants. But in the meantime, Wooby has taken control of the top lane and has pushed it in heavily. The Dahaka is finally back and is getting some of the experience and pushing it out. But Dignitas is still a bit ahead, even though this wall down here got completely destroyed. So good moves by the Leftovers, but they need to be careful that they don't trade down even though they get kills.
Yeah, Dignitas even got a wave and a half in the middle lane too. JPL pushed it out, and half the experience was destroyed before Dahaka could rotate over there. And you see it in the experience at the top. 10, right around the corner for Dignitas. Leftovers trying to get a kill before that 10 does connect. Toik is low. He escapes just barely as JPL gives chase.
And again, they need to rotate into the mid lane. And they get, the wave is starting to hit the towers and nobody is there. So that is more experience lost in the middle of the map right now. And that is a problem. 10 hits though, but you can already tell that even though we've seen a kill against them, Dignitas is half a level ahead of their opponent. It's not a lot if you consider how successful Dignitas was throughout the entire phase so far, but it shows these small advantages that they're able to get for their team. But the Leftovers definitely doing a great job overall. Good control, pressure. They really try to measure how they can feed against such a strong team.
It's definitely David versus Goliath right now, as Leftovers attempt to just stay near them in experience. Another attempt on the bottom side for Dignitas to run in and grab the beacon. Xaylia, aware that some people are missing from the map, does pull away. Snitch gets hit with that combo. That's what I'm talking about. If Chromie can find that one moment to land a major combo on Hanzo, Xaylia might not have a chance to even save him. He has to be careful there. That ace in the hole from Chromie, very deadly, as Lauber is getting chased to the top.
Lauber, the Ancestral comes out, gets it, and here once again, Chromie firing away. Very good hits against Xaylia at this point. Lauber trying to escape, and the jet propulsion on the side of JBL puts him into a bit of trouble, but Lauber goes back in. Should have tried to escape there. He gets taken down. The isolation hitting plays triggered an attempt to take him apart, but Lauber stays a bit too long and then dies.
Yep, few heroics burn there. Dignitas grabs the bottom beacon. Will they have enough room here to grab the dragon in the middle? No one is there to contest. Dahaka on his way to the top side, while Link holds for a little bit longer, buying time for Dahaka to grab the top shrine, and it looks like he'll get it.
The Kidney is doing very... Tyrael is not getting it. Dahaka was at the top. Yeah, it was there in time. The Kidney is doing a great job on Chromie, by the way. Really good damage output that he has here, and always making it very difficult for the backline of Dignitas to stay alive and position themselves properly here. So far, a pretty good one. Also want to highlight, by the way, that Leftovers have definitely shown a few trends when it comes to hero picks. Greymane and Rhaegar are involved in most of the drafts that they have right now. They have a huge priority on them, sitting at over 56% in involvement rate. Nice!
Oh, the minion!
Chromie is down!
The minion gave the final blow on the Chromie, hitting it from the side with the arrow coming in from Snitch. Nicely done. Wubby continues to give chase, does back away right away, but Leftovers gets caught slightly there, and Chromie getting hit with a minion to give the final kill. That just feels horrible.
Let's be fair, she would have probably died anyways, but yeah, it adds insult to injury.
It certainly does, man. No one wants to die to a minion. It feels horrible. Well, Dignitas has now taken control of the map. They put Wubby in the top and the Tyrael, Li Ming in the bottom, and now it's about level 13. That half experience level lead, due to a kill coming in, has now allowed Dignitas to go up a full level.
And that, of course, also means they have the talent advantage, and they are trying to immediately translate that into an objective. And if they get the Dragonite here, that snowball could hit Leftovers hard. There's Snitch already, gets interrupted once, Link is about to fall, Chromie went down 2. That is just Li Ming popping off here, getting the double kill. The Dragonite is taken as well. And now all of a sudden Dignitas is just breaking through here.
Gotta call out JPL, setting that up, sitting in the slowing sands, acting as if he was locked down in an area, trying to zone for his teammate, but it was all a ploy. He wanted to go for the engage behind the Johanna, go for the back line, and that allowed Poik to move forward and get those kills.
DAB is very far out here, too far in my opinion. He should die for sure, especially with the Dragon Knight moving in. That should be a punt, getting him into a position. Don't even have to, because Wubia has also arrived now. Keep in mind that at this point he already has his level 13, so he has Holy Ground. So yeah, job well done.
Space created at least, but it might not be enough. Turret's taking some damage. Front line on the bottom. Fort is being destroyed. Let's see if Dignitas can move forward with all 5 of their members and take this fort. It looks like it'll be easily taken, as Chromie is just praying that she can put some damage out. Yeah,
they already took the fort in the mid lane. Now they're taking the one at the bottom of the map. And you can tell how far ahead they are now. It's a 2-level lead. They are nearly closing on level 16. Leftovers with their 13 talent would love to get some action while they're still eye-to-eye with their opponent in terms of talents. But it's very unlikely that Dignitas even allows for that to happen. But the Leftovers are starting to be aggressive to force that engagement and are starting to invade here. Can they get the drag? They get it on Zelia. Can they get the kill though? Divine Shield is out and now Dignitas is rotating in.
JPL with the buy box on the right. Wubby comes in, Holy Ground, locking Dignitas in this area with the Leftovers. Can the Leftovers fight their way out? Chromie setting up a combo, waiting out the sync, is able to turn around and get some damage on Wubby, but Lauber not so lucky, getting lower and lower on health while Greymane dies a snitch.
Not only Greymane, Rega is now down 2 and Lauber is also killed. Chromie falls. It's a 4-man wipe. And the entire time, Zelia was so low, but the bunker on Blaze saved him. He could retreat and jump in. He was always juking and diving. Uther trying to evade all the shots that were fired his way. But of course, with Tyrael coming in, blocking the retreat path with the Holy Ground, and then dropping the Sank right next to it, it was very difficult for Leftovers to position themselves properly to win that battle. And Dignitas just trapped them, Li Ming completely popping off with all of the damage. So a good idea originally from the Leftovers to invade, but the reaction of Team Dignitas was instantaneously, and Leftovers just overstayed their welcome.
And it gets more difficult here. Dignitas hitting level 16, Heroic Reforming picked up for level 16 to help out with that Holy Ground. Constantly coming out in the fights if Wubby's able to work in those auto attacks during the engages. Being able to lock down like we just saw in that bottom corridor will be a huge asset for Dignitas, while Leftovers are just attempting to get back in this game. A full level and a quarter behind, as they are looking to grab their own talent with 2 forts down.
The kill count, 9 against 1 in favor of Team Dignitas. Leftovers started this game with first blood, were able to take down Zelia with good body blocks around the bottom shrine, but ever since then Dignitas has taken every single kill. And now we have another objective active on the map, and Leftovers are still a level away from 16. Here comes the quick drag attempt, but the cleanse is out. Divine Shield used to save Hanzo. Well played, and in the meantime, we see Leftovers with 5 heroes at the bot lane. Tyrael has taken top shrine, top experience, and is moving into the mid lane.
Moving to the mid lane. May want to fight here. There is still a Dragon Zero available for Dignitas, and that's how they'll start the engage. Lauber and Portibus on the side to try and grab that Dragon Zero if it does come out. Wubby is caught on the side of DAV, gets some damage in. Arrow hit on Chromie.
5 versus 5 in the backline now. The Kidney even gets cleansed. There was no need for that. Nearly the kill, but Poik gets out. The bunker helping a massive amount for Team Dignitas right now, as we have Lauber in trouble, but Snitch is missing the last shot, and Johanna moves away for now. Healing wall is on the ground. They're trying to go for Hanzo again, but immediately Wubby is ready and throws out the shield.
Leftovers are kiting away, but they're running out of steam here as their health bars continue to get lower and lower. Dignitas healing on up between JPL and the Uther. Not having too hard of a time staying healthy, and they'll be able to grab the bottom shrine. Dahaka sneaks away. He will deny for a little bit longer here. Leftovers have bought some time, though, and did get experience during that transaction.
Also keep in mind that the entire battle that we saw at the bot lane evolved around Leftovers being a talent behind. So they're catching up now. They will get 16 to contest the Dragon Knight in the mid lane. But the shrines are now under the control of Dignitas. So this is a fight the Leftovers have to win. Kidney throwing out a couple of beast steps here. But this battle is going to start very soon as Tyrael is making his way into the mid lane.
Now Dahaka's here. He has to wait for his Brushhawker to come back up. But if this fight can go on a little bit longer, or if a drag connects, they'll be able to peel him off and allow him to soak while Leftovers sits in the middle of defense. Chromie combo does come out and hits 2 people. Point gets low. JPL is forced to use the bunker.
Arrow also being used by Snitch, but a very nice healing totem in the back is keeping everybody healthy. Snitch finally takes it out, but the initial combo of Chromie was great, and then that starts. So Leftovers, I really like the way they present themselves here. Dignitas is still that Goliath that they go up against, but this is pretty solid to see them actually try and fight back. But of course, Dignitas has the coordination that we've witnessed the last few weeks, and they are taking on Johanna. They follow it up with another kill, double kill for them. Really well done by Dignitas once more, and they are 3 level ahead. The stat advantage alone is fantastic.
Well, they didn't even need an auto attack there to body block his target into that location, getting the holy ground, and now with the dragon, Dignitas runs towards the bottom side. They're going to open up this keep wall and look for a keep. And here's the good news for them, too. They're getting 2 turrets worth of experience. And if they kill the keep, they'll be close to level 20.
Exactly. Opening up the keep here shouldn't really be a big issue for them. And then it's just a question, can they maybe even get a few kills? Because this could be game. If they get kills here and can stagger them, that would definitely be an opportunity to end the match.
20 bucks, be careful. Against a Tyrael with Holy Ground, you do not want to allow for him to be able to lock you down on the side. He's able to sneak away, but he does use the Essence. Gets low on health. Finally, all 5 are up, but it's 20 to 16. Can the Leftovers hold?
Arrow already being used by Hanzo. Didn't really connect properly. Hanzo himself in trouble now. Here comes the Sanct, saving him for now. They're starting to go onto the core, and you can already tell this is going to be the end. The Leftovers losing the first map to Dignitas on Dragonshire.
Dignitas with another clean and effective ending to a game here. In the early game, holding on pretty well as Leftovers were able to stay near them in experience, but after level 10 hit, the fights were just a little bit too much. The coordination from Dignitas continues to be top tier, and the kills just started rolling in.
Yeah, for me, it's not really if